New York, I'm already talking the talk.
So where you headed, by the way?
New York, baby!
Now get ready to fall in love with New York City all over again. Let's talk Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York. 8 nominations for the Feel-Good Musical of the Year.
Is there anything about the experience of this show that this nomination kind of validates for you?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, and if I could speak to it, just being fully transparent, my character is like, you know, she doesn't get to be big and she doesn't get to be exciting. She is so vulnerable and she's in such a gray space in her life that transparency, I was nervous that the audiences weren't going to go on that journey with her. I was nervous that people weren't going to be distracted by how much fun they're having, that they don't realize the depth of what this person's experiencing. So to know that it has resonated enough to be acknowledged in this way is like, it was very rewarding. Because for me, it was important to do it regardless, to be that vulnerable, regardless of accolades, regardless of people got it. I think it was important for people who are like Robin to see themselves, but to know that like I can do both. I can be that vulnerable and people think it's worthy of acknowledgement is like so cool.
What do you think is clicking about it? Why do you think this show is really having a moment on Broadway?
I think there's so much, but I think the show trusts the audience. I think there's a lot of stuff out there at the moment and in past years where it's you're sort of spoon feeding the audience. But I'm really proud that this show makes the audience listen. It forces the audience to like remember small references that they successfully do every night that we then call back much later in the show, especially when a lot has happened, a lot of big spectacle numbers that could be quite distracting. And it trusts that the audience, Broadway audience, are going to be entertained by 2 people and a single set.
It's really hard to have a 2-person musical without getting that casting perfect. So tell me about your 2 stars.
Right from the get-go, I knew that when I was auditioning for both roles, I wanted to find the people who could deliver the end of the show, because that's the really tricky bit. Dougal has to find his root and Robin has to find her joy. And both of those actors have both of those things in abundance. And then you dial back from that, and Sam is so playful and joyful at the top of the show, and Christiani has such weight and depth. They're so talented, and I think what people will underestimate is how in-depth they've gone on their characters and how many different things they have to knock down to make it all land in the beautiful way that it does. There's so much craft involved and they make it look so easy, but I think they're dazzling, and I feel so lucky to work with them. I really, really do.
The show has had a long history and now it's really it has staying power on Broadway. Why do you think it's hitting with audiences?
Well, foremost because the intense fascination and like mythological obsession with New York City is almost universal, I would say. And that applies both to people visiting New York and also people who are from here, which blows my mind and makes me feel incredibly grateful. But it was also the result of a lot of hard work from a lot of New Yorkers and a lot of non-New Yorkers, but intense enthusiasts for this place and what it represents. So I think firstly, maybe it's that. I think it's nice for people to reflect on what this city means and continues to mean and has meant for a long time culturally.
Now that the show is on Broadway, it's got all of these Tony nominations, what are you most proud of?
I'm most proud of Sam and Christiani, Tim Jackson, all of our collaborators. I'm so pleased that they're being recognized. The amount of work that they put into the show, just watching them do this 8 times a week, the emotional toll it has on them, you know. One of the nicest things is that every time they do the show, they have to have this reset because they're such good friends in real life, where they kind of don't see each other before the show. So when they meet on stage for the first time, it's like they don't know each other.
They have to be the 2 strangers of the title.
They have to be the 2 strangers, and it's hard for them because they're great friends.
You won an Olivier Award for Dear Evan Hansen.
Yes.
So you came over with a lot of acclaim already. It was like, who's this guy?
Right.
Let's check this guy.
Right, I know, yeah.
Is there something validating about this nomination in terms of the experience of doing this show? Does it validate the experience in some unique way?
It certainly does. I think we were, it's nice. I never took this job because I knew this was going to happen. I want to put that out there. Like, I said yes to this job on the basis that it was going to be 6 weeks in the Kiln Theatre in North London, Kilburn. 2.5 years later, I'm sitting here with you. It's sort of like a remarkable experience, and I feel very happy that knowing that I didn't say yes to all of this. This is just the gift. I hope that people out there, like graduates and students, see this as an example of just say yes to the job if you want to.
Yeah.
No matter how small it is, no matter what the pay, no matter where it is, say yes, because literally you could be sat here right now. You know, that's my message out there.
Why do you think audiences have really clicked with it?
I think because they like see themselves. I think these people are so regular. Like there's something beautiful about them being in this like extraordinary theater, and the music has this like extraordinary feel to it. But the people are so regular. So I think people, all walks of life, all ages, different places in their lives emotionally, see themselves, and they're like, yeah, like they're rooting for us because they're rooting for themselves. You know, that's what I think.